Today on Rock the Park.
Whoa, oh boy.
We're back in one of our favorite states.
Oh man, that drops off. Yeah.
Riding the waves at Great Sand Dunes National Park.
Nice, yeah! I'm doing it! I'm doing it!
And taking a look back at our favorite adventures in this land of extremes. We're in Colorado, and it all starts right now.
Whoa.
I'm Jack Stewart.
This is the real deal.
And I'm Colton Smith.
These are mountains!
We've been buddies for years, always in search of the next adventure.
Dude, what was that? We share a passion for our national parks and other wild places around the world.
Oh my God.
Heading off the beaten path, pushing our limits, and experiencing nature's best-kept secrets.
Here we go!
It's how we rock the park.
Colorado is home to some of the most spectacular and surprising parks we've ever experienced. And today, we're going to revisit some of those epic moments while creating a whole new memory.
Thanks to what could be easily described as an epic sandbox, we plan to get in touch with our inner child.
We are road tripping through Colorado, and we've got an afternoon that we can spend at Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve.
The entire dune field covers more than 30 square miles and sits at the foot of the Sangre de Christo range of the Rocky Mountains of south central Colorado.
You can't really script a better pit stop than this. These are the tallest dunes in North America.
The tallest dune towers over 750 feet high.
We went on the Colorado Field Guide and checked out what we can do in a couple hours out here. And the best recommendation is to go sandboarding. Literally surf, snowboard down these sand dunes.
The dune field first became a national monument in 1932 and was converted to a national park and preserve in 2000. The park includes the surrounding wetlands and salt flats. But today, we're all about the downhill.
So, this is a sandboard. It looks kind of like a snowboard, except it's made out of wood. I hope we can at least make it down a dune, but if we can't, I'm always prepared, and I brought a sled.
These dunes have been forming for tens of thousands of years, thanks to the combined forces of wind, water, and erosion in the nearby mountains.
All this sand has come from streams and creeks that were dried up and blown over to this area right here. It's kind of the perfect combination and equation to create these massive, massive sand dunes.
Climbing up these dunes is pretty rough, but usually when we're in Colorado, we're doing a different type of climbing.
Yeah, the Colorado Rocky Mountains is where we've come to practice and fine-tune our rock climbing skills.
I don't know if you remember, but when we did our first multi-pitch climb at Twin Owls, we learned some lessons the hard way.
Oh, I know I did.
Colorado is best known for its dramatic and rugged peaks.
Jack and Colton, blaze on.
This is a 300-foot tall granite slab called the Twin Owls with lots of exposure.
That means you're climbing above steep terrain, where a fall could be catastrophic.
There's all these handholds, obvious footholds, and the rock, it's this nice grippy granite.
Here we go. Yeah! Maybe wearing shorts was not the best idea.
Colton decided to wear shorts, rock climbing on extremely coarse rock. Not the brightest move in the world.
I can hear you down there.
You got this, Jack.
Well done.
20 feet down,
Yeah.
280 to go.
The second pitch ramps up in intensity.
As I continue my way across the side of the rock, the handholds and the footholds that were so great and obvious on pitch number 1, I'm not seeing them.
What's it like up there?
There's definitely a lot of exposure.
Oh, yeah.
And this little walkway starts to get smaller and smaller.
Eventually, I find a tiny little point to put my foot on, and I start my moves.
There it is. Yeah.
Woo, man. Got the heart rate going a little bit.
So it's really getting windy. You can just see the trees are just going like that.
Yeah, climb on!
Climb it!
The path is gone. Your handholds aren't really that good. You really kind of have to go back to just completely trusting your feet. This drop-off is at least now 200 to 250 feet. It is way far down to the ground.
And as I'm trying to figure out my next move, the wind starts to blow even harder.
You got a gust. Ooh. Woo! Yeah, that wind is blowing right now. Oh, man. There you go, nice.
Woo! That was much more intense than I thought.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, look at you got the ravens just circling us. I don't think they thought we were gonna make it.
But after another 150 feet straight up, we're at the top.
Woo!
Nice.
All right! Yeah!
Yeah.
This was an awesome day of climbing, and the view up here is just incredible.
And that's true of so many places in Colorado. No matter what kind of mountain you're climbing.
Wish this thing had a ski lift.
We're in Colorado, reliving some of our favorite adventures and trying out sandboarding for the first time in Great Sand Dunes National Park.
This is pretty steep, son.
Yes, it is. Go big or go home.
Woo! Oh! Oh! Yeah!
Nice, your actual board acted like a rudder.
That's a blast. Oh, did it?
Yeah.
That's
It was digging in
awesome.
the entire time.
All right. I can tell standing up's gonna be really hard.
Oh,
Come on.
Now we know that.
While these sand peaks are cool, Colorado is best known for the dramatic Rocky Mountain Range.
And we couldn't wait to tackle one mountain in particular, this time in San Juan National Forest.
Our first 14er.
A mountain that's over 14,000 feet tall.
To get to the base of Sunlight Peak, we hopped aboard the historic Durango Silverton train that dates back to the gold and silver mining days of the 1800s.
This is so awesome.
And then after hiking 6 miles and 3,000 feet in elevation, we ran into a roadblock of sorts.
So we actually have a mountain goat, and he is approaching us. He is just checking us out.
Yeah, he is.
Looking at this guy, you can see that he's losing some fur.
In order to live up in the high alpine, mountain goats, they need to have a way to protect themselves from the elements. So for the winter, they grow these thick coats, and then in the summer, they shed them by rubbing them up against things like rocks and branches and vegetation.
Well, it's very cool seeing wild animals up so close. We need to make sure that we're keeping a respectful distance at all times.
Just because these guys are used to humans doesn't mean that we want him to really get too close.
Hey, buddy.
All right, come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
If people get hurt, animals get into trouble.
There you go. All right.
It's not good for him or us to get too close.
You're beautiful, yes. And I would like to be your friend, but we can't let that happen.
After a final push, we make it to the crux of this climb.
Our terrain is about to get really, really intense. We're not gonna have that nice trail that we've been hiking on before.
Scree is an accumulation of loose rock on the slopes of a mountain. After we get through that, there's a band of boulders and then a scramble up sheer cliffs to the summit.
Having to exert extra energy on things like stepping over rocks or making sure your feet are absolutely in the right spot. It's all those little things that add up and just start draining the energy right out of you.
Time to strap on some protection.
All right, so we've reached the point where trekking poles won't do us much good.
Yeah, now is where we're gonna have to be incredibly alert. No more trail, just scrambling. How you coming?
Good.
A scramble or unroped climb means climbing up steep terrain while using your hands to hold yourself in place and avoid sliding backwards.
Oh, man. Yeah, that drops off.
Oh, wow. Oh, geez.
The summit of Sunlight Peak is within reach. But before we take another step, we stop to witness a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon. The first total solar eclipse visible coast to coast in the US in 99 years.
Talk about things lining up. How crazy is it that we're going up Sunlight Peak for the solar eclipse?
None of that was planned. Some things were meant to be.
A solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, blocking the sunlight.
It's happening. Whoa, yeah.
This is by far one of the coolest things nature has ever thrown our way. But once it's bright enough again, we're back on track, and after a few more scrambles, we're on top of the world at more than 14,000 feet.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's an edge. That is a cliff right there.
Oh. There's our summit marker.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Ooh. Yes! Woo! Our first 14er.
Oh, man.
Don't leave me hanging, man.
Oh.
First 14er.
Oh, wow.
The view from 14,000 feet was everything we hoped for.
Whoa. Not sure flying down hundreds of feet of sand will have the same happy ending.
Oh my gosh!
We've had some seriously awe-inspiring adventures in Colorado. Today, we'll be riding the waves in Great Sand Dunes National Park.
This is a reversing dune, one of the most common out here in the dune field. It's formed when winds come from both sides. What that means for us is on this side, we've got a nice gentle slope, and if we want to step it up a notch after this, the other side, it's really steep.
When sandboarding the dunes, barefoot or in socks is the way to go. But boots or shoes are needed to keep your feet protected on the hike back up.
How hot does it get?
150 degrees. I mean, we're not talking about just a little warm, blazing sand. Luckily, it's not there yet. That's why you start nice and early in the day. Gosh, I don't even know which way is the front. I really don't have any idea what I'm about to do.
All right, should I go first?
Why don't you give it a shot? Sure.
I'll see you at the bottom.
Ah! Oh, don't worry, you still have the whole run ahead of you. Oh, no. All right.
Nice! Yeah! I'm doing it! I'm doing it! Oh!
Or something.
Okay, we may be in a little over our heads here, but it's not the first time that's happened.
Colorado is definitely a land of extremes. It's crazy to think that this is the same state where we had that insane whitewater experience.
Oh, man. The Green River at Dinosaur National Monument, we got a little more water than we bargained for.
The Green River in northwest Colorado has some of the most highly coveted whitewater in the country. As luck would have it, we were there on a day the river was flowing at its most powerful.
After warming up on some smaller, tamer rapids and one Class 4, we, along with our guide Park Ranger Tappan Brown, are ready to tackle our biggest challenge, Hell's Half Mile.
Scouting the rapids ahead of time is critical as they are always changing, especially in high water situations like this one.
Oh, the whitewater. Oh, man. I can already see that. There's gonna be a little bit of maneuvering around some boulders. We got a huge wave.
We'll hit that first one, it's gonna wanna spin us. Might have to have one of you guys, just one of you paddle to try and help me turn the boat around so that we're square. If we hit one of those sideways, we're going in the water.
Immediately to the left of the first rapid, I see a strainer. A strainer is a log or a tree that is out in the river that's extremely hazardous.
With a strainer, the water can get through. You can't.
We gotta stay focused.
We just gotta stay focused and keep it going. It's good to be nervous when you're attacking something like this. You never want to let your guard down.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Oh, boy.
4-3, 4-3. Stop.
When we head into whitewater, I become like a robot. I am absolutely locked in and listening to every command that Tappan's giving us.
All forward, all forward.
We build up speed and we go crashing right into the first wave. We make it through, but it knocks us a bit sideways.
As we come up to the crest of the second wave, you can start to feel the boat rise up.
For a second, I feel like I'm levitating.
And just like that, we're in the water. It's cold and powerful.
Miraculously, somehow, I've got a hand on the boat.
And just like that, Tappan is already on top of the boat, pulling up Jack.
At this point, we're just grabbing onto whatever we can. It's certainly not ideal, but riding on top of the raft is absolutely safer than being in the river.
We're all good, boys. We're all good. Woo!
Luckily for us, there's an island right in the middle of the river.
As soon as we reach the island, Tappan goes into action mode.
Thumbs towards you. Thumbs towards you. Yep, I got you. I got you.
It seems all around us, there's just total chaos. But we all look at each other and realize that nobody's hurt. We made it out of this thing in one piece, and really that's all that counts.
I saw you come right at me.
It felt like I was like just hanging in midair. As we try to right the ship, we realize how incredibly heavy our boat is, which shows you the power of the rapid that we just went through.
Ah, man. Ready? Yep. 1, 2, 3. Pull, pull. Yeah! Oh.
We load the boat back up, hop in, and just like that, we're back on the river.
We learned a good lesson that day. Always, always listen to your guide. Unfortunately, we didn't bring a guide with us to Great Sand Dunes National Park.
We're capping off 5 years of awesome adventures in Colorado by sandboarding in Great Sand Dunes National Park. And so far, I wouldn't exactly say we're shredding up the dunes.
What I love about trying things like this for the first time is you have no option but to just be in the moment and let loose. Whoa! With skis, I know how to stop or slow down. With this thing, there's no brake. There's no way to slow yourself without just falling.
This is so much harder than it looks. I'm either going too fast or too slow.
I wish this thing had a ski lift.
But you can't expect to master a skill right out of the gate.
Got kind of far.
That was a little better. I mean,
Well, I felt like I was balanced the best, but still, I'm still struggling with my speed.
there's one thing I know. I'm not an excellent skier. I'm definitely not an excellent sandboarder. But I'm from Minnesota, and I can sled. Whoa! Whoa! Ah! Yeah! Yeah! Oh! 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 You all right, though?
I'm good.
The only thing that's hurt is my pride. It's been worth it, though. This has been a blast, tumbles and all.
Every time we come to this state, we get pretty roughed up.
We've had some pretty intense adventures here. And what's great about Colorado is it's also a great place to try things for the first time.
Colorado just seems to have it all. You've got the epic Whitewater. You've got places to climb, skiing, and then now you've got awesome sand dunes, the biggest ones in North America.
And yet again, another just completely different landscape and environment to really play around in.
Now, sandboarding, it's not for me yet.
You know, progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
Just baby steps.
It's nice to be able to come in, try something new, and not worry about whether you look goofy or whether you're gonna fall down. Just go out and give it your best. And at the end of the day, if you have fun, that's all that matters.
Hey, if we can do it,
So can you.
So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
Ah! Oh!
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.